أكبر الله أكبر
ياسين والقرآن الحكيم إنك لمن المرسلين.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So guys, in this video I am going to talk about death, Jannah and Jahannam. I hope this really helps and is like more efficient on like what the words that what you learned before. And also, if there's anything that you don't understand with, like, if there's a part that you're confused on, please comment down. I'll try my best to answer your questions. If I don't answer your questions, I'm really sorry about that, because some of them I don't know. I'm still learning lots of new things. So, inshallah, you like my recitation. Death. Everyone has to leave this world. We are, in reality, just travelers. Both the fittest person who goes to the gym for 3 hours a day and the laziest person who sleeps so many hours a day will die. Both the doctor and the patient will die. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala states, every soul has to taste death. It is on the day of judgment that you shall be paid your rewards in full. So whoever has been kept away from the fire and admitted to paradise has really succeeded. The Prophet ﷺ explained to us what happens at the time of death clearly. For a good person who believed in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and obeyed his commands, death will come in the following manner. Verily, when the believing slave of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is at the point of departure from the worldly life and is about to enter the next life, angels descend from heaven. Their faces are white and bright like the sun. They carry with them a shroud from the clothes of paradise and perfume from the fragrance of paradise. They sit away from him at the limit of his eyes. The angel of death then arrives, sits by his head and says, O good and peaceful soul, depart to Allah's forgiveness and pleasure. On hearing this, the soul leaves the body as easily as water pours out from the spout of a water skin container, and he, the angel of death, takes it. The sweetest smell of musk ever to exist on the surface of the earth emanates from the soul. A person who did not believe in the truth from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will have the following death. And verily, when a disbelieving slave of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is at the point of departure from the worldly life and is about to enter the hereafter, strong hulking angels with dark faces descend to him from the heavens. They bring with them coarse fabric from the fire. They sit away from him at the limit of his eyesight. The angel of death arrives, sits by his head and says, O malicious soul, depart to the wrath and anger of Allah. On hearing this, it becomes terrified and clings to the body, but he extracts it by force, like a thorny skewer is pulled from wet wool. The soul releases the most repugnant odor of decaying corpse that ever existed on the surface of the earth. The journey after death. After the soul comes out of the body, it travels towards the heavens. The Prophet ﷺ described the journey of the two types of souls in the following manner. The angels then ascend with it. the believer's soul as they pass by gatherings of angels. They are asked, what is this good soul? The angels are holding it. And what will make you know what Illiyun is? A register inscribed to which bear witness those who are nearest to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, example, the angels. Thus, the soul's records are inscribed in Illiyun, and the angels are told, take him back to the earth, because I promised them that from it I created them, into it I shall return them, and from it I shall resurrect them once again. He is returned to earth, and his soul is returned to his body, so that he hears the thumping of his companions' shoes as they walk away from his grave. So guys, when I said the journey after death, that was the good bit. Now we are going to go on the bad bit of the journey after death. The angels then ascend with it. The disbeliever's soul, as they pass by gatherings of angels, they are asked, what is this malicious soul? The angels are holding it, reply, this is so and so, and the son or daughter of so and so, using the worst names with which he had been addressed in the first life. When they reach the lowest heaven, they ask for permission to enter, and the gates are not opened for him. For them, the disbelievers, the gates of heaven will not be opened, as they will not enter paradise until the camel goes through the eye of a needle. So guys, for example, there's a needle, small needle. Basically, they're only allowed to go to paradise unless a camel goes through a needle. Like, that is impossible. Like a small needle, which is like the size of your fingers, for a camel which is like more bigger than your body, to go through the needle. Okay, let's continue. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala then says, write his records in Sijin, I don't know how to say the word, in the lowest earth. And the angels are told, take him back to the earth, because I promised them that from earth, I created them into it. I shall return them, and from it I shall resurrect them once again. His soul is cast down to earth without regard, and his soul falls into his body. As for the one who joins partners with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it is as if he plunges down from the skies, whereupon birds snatch him off of the wind, casts him away to a remote place, away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mercy. His soul is restored to his body, so that he hears the thumping of his companion's shoe as they walk away from his grave. This is about questioning the grave this time. This is about the good person. Okay, let's get on with it. After a person's burial is completed and people leave his graveside, two angels descend to the person inside in the grave. The names of these angels are Munkar and Nakir. A person's soul is returned to his body. He is thereafter asked the following questions. Who is your Lord? What is your religion? Who is the man who was sent to you? A believer will reply, my Lord is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. My religion is Islam. That is the messenger of Allah. A disbeliever will reply, alas, I don't know. Alas, I don't know. Alas, I don't know. No matter if a person is buried in a grave or drowns in the sea, they will still be questioned by these angels. Actually, never mind what I said about good. Those sentences were good and bad. Like, literally, as he saw, it said, who is your Lord? What is your religion? Who is the man? That's like a question for a believer and a disbeliever. For example, the believer says, my Lord is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, my religion is Islam. That is the messenger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's the messenger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. A disbeliever, that's the good person. But a bad person, which is a disbeliever, will reply, alas, I don't know, alas, I don't know, alas, I don't know. He doesn't know anything because he has just been sitting around being lazy every day, doing nothing, no work, no anything, and has no cautious, like no, he doesn't even know what's happening in the world. For example, coronavirus, it's like spreading, and he's been home for such a long time. For example, for like 2 years or something, 3 years, and he has no idea that coronavirus doesn't even exist. Like, he's alone in his house, and then one day he goes outside without watching the news or anything. He just watches like random stuff what he likes. He goes outside. People are like, "Why are you outside?" Like, the policemen are like, "Why are you outside? Supposed to be self-isolating yourself." And then the person's like, "What do you mean? Why?" And then the policeman's gonna be like, "What do you mean, like, why? You're supposed to be self-isolating yourself because of COVID-19. And then later the guy asks the policeman, "What is COVID-19? And then the policeman is like, "The coronavirus, obviously. Do you even know it's here?" And then later the guy's like, What do you mean? I don't understand what you're saying." That's basically saying, "I don't know Islam. I don't know Allah. I don't know who the messenger of Allah is." Alhamdulillah, I'm guessing that all of you understand what I'm saying. And yeah, let's go on with the video. The life of the grave. Death is not the end of a person. It is just the beginning. For Muslims, the real life is the life after death. That life is forever. As part of our iman, we believe that a good person is blessed in the grave with various bounties, and an evil person is punished in a manner which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wills. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "The grave is a garden from the gardens of paradise, or a pit from the pits of hell. A believer who passed the test of Munkar and Nakir will be given a bedding from Jannah. He will be clothed with the clothing of Jannah, and a gateway to Jannah will be unveiled. He will be soothed and cooled with the fragrant scent of Jannah in his grave. A person who fails the test of Munkar and Nakir will be given bedding of fire, basically Jahannam. Clothing of fire and gateway to the hellfire will be unveiled. The scorching heat and the blistering hot winds will be let loose upon him from this gateway. After the first time the trumpet is blown, no one will remain except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will then command Israfil alayhi salam to rise and blow the trumpet a second time, through which the whole world will be recreated by the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But this time it will be different from before. Afterwards, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will command everyone to rise, and all the bodies will come back to life to stand before the Lord of the universe and answer for their actions. And they shall be presented lined up before your Lord. It will be said to them, "You have certainly come to us, just as we had created you for the first time, while you claimed that we would not make any appointed time for you." Then as for him whose scales of good deeds are heavy, he will be in a happy life, which is Jannah. Okay, so basically guys, I'm going to start the talk about Jannah. I hope you will understand what I am saying. Okay, let's go on with it. Jannah is a beautiful and peaceful place which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had prepared for the believers. It is such a beautiful place that no eye has ever seen, no ear has ever heard of, and no man has ever imagined. Just before the believers enter Jannah, they will come by a fountain in which each and every one of them will make ghusl, also known as, like, if you don't understand what ghusl is or what it means, it's also called the bath. by which their faces will shine and look very radiant. The men will become extremely handsome, and the woman will become so beautiful that even the house, which is even woman of Jannah, will envy them. Angels will welcome the believers into Jannah. The people entering Jannah will wear crowns. The ummah of our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam will enter Jannah first, after which everyone else will follow. The atmosphere will be joyous, peaceful, and ecstatic. The highest of the degrees of paradise is Al-Firdaus. It was narrated that Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu said that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, when you ask Allah, ask him for Al-Firdaus, for it is in the best part of paradise and is the highest part of paradise. Above it is the throne of the most merciful, and from it spring forth the rivers of paradise. Basically, this is saying, like, as you know, yeah, so basically, you know, Jannatul Firdaus is basically the highest, like, Jannah. It's like, you get, like, the highest part, you get more space, lots of stuff. So basically, it's like levels of Jannah, low to high. Jannatul Firdaus is the highest one. And alhamdulillah, I'm thinking, like, I know that everyone's aiming for that. And yeah, the reason, if you don't know what Jannatul Firdaus is, and why do you keep hearing Adam say, inshallah everyone goes to Jannatul Firdaus, that is basically saying, he's basically saying everyone, inshallah everyone goes to the highest Jannah. Okay, let's get on with the next bit. Basically, there are 4 rivers in Jannah. 1 is water, 2 is milk, 3 is wine, 4 is honey. These rivers will not be like those normal rivers, like for example, the water rivers in our world. It's not going to be like that. The wine, like, it's going, like, yeah. Let me carry on. The water and milk will not taste like that of this world. The honey will be pure. The wine will not intoxicate, nor will it cause any harm to our bodies. It will be pure, all of it. Basically, the rivers will not be like the same as ours, like the water and stuff. Like, it's going to be very different. Like, for example, our sink water, that's not the same as Jannah. Jannah is more pure and more better and more refreshing. You wouldn't even, like, imagine or anything, like, about how it tastes. Second, the milk. The milk is completely different from the, like, it's going to be even more better. Third, the wine. The wine will not intoxicate. It will not harm your body or anything. It will, like, it's just, basically, you're not allowed wine in this world because it's haram, obviously, and also it's bad for your body. It will cause harm for your body. Also, wine, actually, like, in Jannah, wine is more safer in Jannah. It's like, it's not gonna harm anything in your body. It's not gonna be, it's gonna be like the best thing that you ever tasted. And fourth of all, honey. Honey is going to taste completely different. It's like the milk. How everyone else says it. Milk and honey, like, is some good food. It's like the best food to have in earth, like, in this world. Like, having milk before you go sleep, very good. Gonna have, like, you're gonna feel like you're gonna have a deep sleep and stuff. Inshallah, you will sleep well, and yeah. Okay, let's continue with the things that are happening in Jannah. And yeah. There will be a market in Jannah known as Suq al-Jannah. Anas ibn Malik radiallahu anhu narrated that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, verily in paradise there is a market which the people of paradise will come to every Friday. The north wind will blow and scatter fragrances on their faces and clothes. This will add to their beauty and attractiveness. They will then go back to their families after having an added luster to their beauty and attractiveness. their families will say to them, by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you have been increased in beauty and loveliness after leaving us. And they will say, by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you too have increased in beauty and attractiveness after us. In this bit, this is saying that the north wind will blow every Friday. If you go to that market, the north wind will blow, and then later like beautiful smell and stuff will go splattering on your face and your clothes. And then later it's going to say that Allah is basically Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has increased our beauty and loveliness. Like literally everyone should like go there when you're in Jannah. Okay, let's continue the video. Okay, seeing Allah. Many faces that day will be glowing, looking towards their Lord. The greatest blessing of Jannah will be seeing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Our beloved messenger Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, when the people of Jannah shall enter Jannah and the people of Jahannam shall enter Jahannam, a caller shall call, O people of Jannah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is inviting you to a gathering in which He wishes to reward you. The people of Jannah shall say, He has not illuminated our faces. Has He not saved us from the fire? Did He not make our scales heavy? Implying that He has given them so much, so what more could there be? Then the veils will be lifted and they shall look at the countenance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The people of Jannah will not be given any reward greater than viewing the countenance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So guys, basically everyone, if you must be thinking, will we ever see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Like, will we ever see Him or see it like how He looks like? The answer is yes, but in Jannah. In Jannah, you're gonna look at Him. After you see Him, you're gonna see His beauty like for so long, literally for a very long time. Like, you're gonna be really surprised like how He looks. And yeah, you're going to be looking at Him for like years, and you're gonna be like, you're just gonna stare at Him, how He looks like and stuff, like for years and years. Okay, let's get on with the next part of Jannah. The description of Jannah through the Quran and Hadith and Ahadith. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reward them with paradise and silken garments because they were patient, reclining on raised thrones. They will not cease rain, neither excessive sunlight nor extreme bitter cold. The climate shall be just right. The shade will be close upon them, and bunches of fruit will hang low within their reach. Basically, in this bit, it's saying that the fruits, like for example, if you see a tree and the fruit that you really want and you're hungry, they're gonna like, it's just gonna go down just for you to eat it. Like, you're thinking, you're like, I really want, for example, I really want this apple or something, and then later after you say that, that apple itself, the tree, the roots, it's literally the branches, it's going to come down, and then later it's gonna come down until you can reach it. And yeah, or we have like another thing. For example, if you see a bird, it's flying around. You're like, oh, I'm really hungry. I want to eat that bird or something. That bird in front of you is going to come down, like, and then later, like, literally, it's going to be already cooked and stuff, and then you're going to be able to eat it. All the bones and stuff of the bird will literally all the bones and stuff will turn the bird back. Like, the bird's gonna go back flying, and you're gonna have it like full stomach. And yeah, you're gonna be like, I don't need to eat anymore or something. And yeah. Okay, let's carry on. Vessels of silver and cups of crystal will be passed around, amongst them crystal clear, made of silver, measured by those who fills them with due measure. They will be given a cup of wine mixed with zanjabil, a fountain called salsabil. And circling around them will be serving boys, blessed with eternal youth. If you see them, you would think they have scattered pearls. When you look there in paradise, you will see a delight that cannot be imagined. And a great kingdom. Their garments will be of green thunder, a kind of fine silk, and of istabrak, a kind of thick silk. They will be adorned with bracelets of silver, and the Lord will give them a pure drink. Verily, the dwellers of paradise that day will be busy in joyful things. They and their wives will be in pleasant shade, reclining on thrones. They will have serene fruits of all kinds, and all that they will ask for, it will be said to them, Salam, peace be upon you, a word from the Lord, most merciful. Abu Musa and Ash'ari, I don't know how to say that name properly, radiallahu an, narrated that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, verily for the believers in paradise are tents made of a single hollow pearl, the length of which will be 60 miles. Abu Huraira said that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, there is not a tree in paradise except that its trunk is made of gold. Okay, let's get on with the next bit. This is actions that will lead all of us to Jannah, all of us to paradise. Actions that will lead us to Jannah. Belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and doing good actions. Whoever believes in Allah and does so righteously, He will write off his evil deeds and will admit him to gardens beneath which rivers flow, where they will live forever. That is a great achievement. It's a Quran verse. And yeah, visiting the sick. The Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, whoever visits a sick person or visits a brother in Islam, a caller cries out to him, may you be happy, may you walking be blessed, and may you occupy a dignified position in paradise. Spreading salam, feeding people, praying salah at night, tahajjud. Abdullah ibn Salam radiallahu an said that the first words from the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam when he arrived in Medina were, O people, spread peace, share food, pray during the night while people sleep, and you will enter paradise in peace. This is basically saying that if you pray, share food, and do all those good stuff, this is another good way of leading you to Jannah. Okay, let's go in the next bit of actions that lead you to Jannah. In Surah Al-Mu'minun, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala informs us that the people who come to stay in Jannah Al-Firdaus will be those that concentrate in their humility when offering salah, giving away from the vain things, give zakah, protect their chastities and modesty, look after their trusts, look after their promises, and consistent in salah. Those are inheritors of Al-Firdaus, the paradise. Whoever offers 12 rakats in the day and night, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will build for him a house in Jannah. 2 rakat before Fajr, 4 rakat before Zuhur, 2 rakat after Zuhur, 2 rakat after Maghrib, 2 rakat after Isha. Basically, if you do all of those actions, so basically the last one, 2 rakat before Zuhur, 4 rakat before Zuhur, 2 rakat after Zuhur, 2 rakat after Maghrib, 2 rakat after Isha. Whoever does all those 12 rakats in the day and night. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will surely build you a house in Jannah. Inshallah, you guys do that. Literally, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is literally building you a house for that. A whole house made by Allah, made by God. He's doing all of this for you. Made by the powerful person who created you when you're just really dust to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You'll be literally so excited and stuff. You have to do this, pray namaz and stuff. Okay, let's get on with the next bit of our video. Ashura Mubashara. There are 10 Sahaba who were given the glad tidings of paradise in this world in one gathering by our beloved Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Abu Bakr will be in paradise, Umar will be in paradise, Uthman will be in paradise, Ali will be in paradise, Talha will be in paradise, Az-Zubayr will be in paradise, Abdur Rahman ibn Auf will be in paradise, Sa'id ibn Abi Waqas will be in paradise, Sa'id ibn Zayd will be in paradise, and Abu Ubaidah ibn al-Jarrah will be in paradise. These 10 Sahaba were known as the Ashara Ubashara, the 10 people who were given the glad tidings of Jannah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be pleased with them and grant us all Jannah and Firdaus. Okay, so the next bit is Jahannam. Surely Jahannam, the hell, lurks in ambush. It is an abode for the rebellious people who will be abiding in it for ages. They will taste nothing cool in it, nor a drink except boiling water and pus. This being a punishment fully commensurate with their deeds they did not expect to face, accounting of their deeds. They rejected our sign totally, and everything from their deeds is thoroughly recorded by us in writing. So now taste, we will add nothing to you but torment. Jahannam is a place of misery, pain and grief, a place which has been prepared for the non-believers and the people whose sins outweighed their good deeds. Basically, this place for the non-believers has been already made for them, for the bad people who disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, don't follow their deeds, don't follow His orders or anything. Okay, so let's get on with this bit. Jahannam was heated for 1,000 years, and its fire turned red. It was then heated for another 1,000 years, and it became white. It was again heated for another 1,000 years, and it turned black. At present, Jannah is pitch black and dark. This is basically saying it's been saying Jahannam was heated for 1,000 years, and then its fire turned red. And then later it said the fire had been heated another 1,000 years, and then it became white. Again, it had been heated another 1,000 years. It turned black. 3,000 years it's changing, literally. And it's then at the end it says black and dark, pitch. Jahannam is pitch black and dark at the end. It's literally you have to wait 3,000 years for the color of the fire to change. Literally, there's gonna be fire everywhere. Okay, let's get on with the next bit. The fire of this world is one part from 70 parts of the fire of Jahannam. Each part of it is like the heat of this world. For each gate there is a group apportioned from them. There are 7 gates of Jahannam. The types of punishments in Jahannam mentioned in the Quran and Hadith are as follows. Creatures, verily there are long-necked camel like snakes. Camel-like snakes in Jahannam. If any one of these bites a person of Jahannam, he will feel pain for 40 years. Verily, there are donkey-sized scorpions in Jahannam. If any one of these stings a person of Jahannam, he will feel pain for 40 years. So basically, there's scorpions, snakes and stuff. They are a size of donkey size, like literally. Imagine a donkey, the whole body, and they're that size. They bite someone, sting them, he will feel pain for 40 years. How long is that? And you will literally like suffer there. That's why everyone, including me, have to pray, listen to Allah and do all this stuff. Like, Jahannam is literally the worst thing that you'll be going into. Yesterday I saw people writing mean stuff about Muslims. They say bad stuff. For example, there's a guy who says, I don't care about Islam, like Islam's making it worse for us. And yeah, like Islam, for example, he's like, F Islam. He says the F word to Islam. He says F Islam, F Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Why is he people? He's basically literally hurting us Muslims. Like, what did we Muslims ever do to him? Literally, he is bullying Muslims, being annoying to them, and literally he will feel that pain. Since he said that, he didn't even spell Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam correctly. He only said Muhammad, like Mooham, something like that, and made fun of it. Literally, that is the worst thing. He will for surely go to Jahannam unless some miracle happens and he goes to Jannah. Literally, Jahannam, he will get bitten by a scorpion, donkey-sized, and that scorpion will bite him, and he will feel the sting of it for 40 years. Imagine another scorpion comes and bites him again. He'll feel the pain for 80 years. That's why other people should not mind business with Islam. If he had a very bad things that happen with Islam, he should actually tell someone of what Muslim people are doing. He shouldn't make fun of them, even though if someone did something. For example, a Muslim, he says he makes fun of this guy's religion. Imagine he was Christian or something. He makes fun of his religion. He acts back. How if they how bad will everyone feel? Literally, this is just leading everyone to Jahannam. The other person, this Christian person, should have said, okay, if my religion is bad, I don't care. Literally, if that Christian person watched the video, for example my video, he said you will get bitten for 40 years for bullying Muslim and you will get thrown in Jahannam. He just think of that but not say it. And then later he leaves, he doesn't do anything. He says he still loves the Muslims, he still loves every other religion. Literally. Okay, let's carry on with the video. On the day of resurrection, a neck will come out from Jahannam, having 2 eyes, 2 ears, and 1 tongue, to see, hear, and speak. It will say that it has been designated for 3 types of people. A, every rebellious and stubborn one. B, everyone who made an associate with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. C, the one who draws pictures of living beings. Basically, imagine there's a picture and you draw something about a living being or something. You should not hang it around or anything. Literally, hang it in your room or something. You shouldn't do that unless something happens. For example, your teacher tells you to, and yeah, that's fine, because your teacher is just telling you to do that. And another thing is that I'm going to give you a quick thing about coronavirus. Coronavirus, literally, in last video, I hope you watched it, I said that bad stuff are happening. As you see, you probably heard someone danced to the Quran. She said at the end, I think I'm sorry. The first sorry, she said, I think I'm sorry. And then later, the next time, she said, I'm truly and deeply sorry. That's the sorry we have been wanting to. Because apparently she just found the audio and thought it was some music or something. That was very bad. But apparently she didn't know. And yeah. So all the Muslims are forgiving her. Apparently there's a 10-year-old that comes up and says, and defends her because she is that 10-year-old is a fan of this person who danced to the Quran. The 10-year-old says, what's wrong with dancing to the Quran? Tons of Muslims explain it to her. She could go fire, Jahannam. That 10-year-old girl doesn't care about anything, but the Muslims do. That is another thing leading people to Jahannam. And in this video, I have been coughing a lot. For example, if I've coughed 2-3 times, doesn't mean I have the coronavirus. And yeah, people are making fun of it. That's basically another way of leading to Jahannam. Cause you're basically, that person is basically making fun of coronavirus, of Allah's things that He created for people to be sad of. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created coronavirus for us, just to punish us Muslims and everyone else in the world, to see what we are doing. And that person is making fun of that, saying, oh yeah, you coughed, now you have coronavirus. Or they could have said, oh, you sneezed, I'm getting away from you, you have coronavirus, go check out with a doctor or something. That is the bad stuff that people are doing, and none of us, alhamdulillah, like it, because you're making fun of Allah's powers. Alhamdulillah, that is really, literally, this is really bad stuff that people are doing. Anyways, let's go to the next bit of Jahannam. Food. Boiling water will be poured on their heads, on the disbelievers' heads, and it will be pierced their skulls until it reaches their stomachs. This will make their guts melt and go down to their feet. Then everything will be returned to its original condition again. Indeed, the tree of Zaqum is the food for the sinful. Like murky oil, it boils within bellies, like the boiling of scalding water. The dwellers of Jahannam will experience such intense hunger that this alone will be equal to the terrible torment, which will be such intense hunger that this alone will be equal to the terrible torment which will be rendered. Then they will seek for food, and they will be given food that will stick to the throat. Example, it will neither go in nor come out. Basically, this is saying, for example, a cactus. For food, for water, you have to drink a boiling water that will literally knock you out. And then later, eventually, you're gonna be in your original condition again. And then later, you have to eat a cactus from a tree or something. And then later, when you eat it, all the spikes go down your belly, and literally you feel so sick. I don't even want to do that myself. That is literally so scary. People are probably doing some random food challenges. For example, they have to eat cactus. Literally, that's really weird. Okay. The next bit is saying that iron and chains, and there will be rods of iron to punish them every time they wish to get away therefrom. Due to anguish, they will be forced back, and it will be said, taste the chastisement of burning. Basically, when someone's they're trying to get out of hell, they're running away from they're going towards the gates of Jahannam to free themselves, so they can go to the gates of Jannah. That's basically saying then later it's saying that it's going to force you to come back, and it's going to feed you iron or something, and literally like handcuff you or something with iron metals, like iron. The next bit is saying if the rod of iron is placed on the ground, all men and jinn put together will not lift it. Basically, if the iron was on the ground, like clearly on the ground, you would have to sit there for a long time, and you're not going to be able to lift it up. Your hands are going to be feeling like aching. The next bit says, but soon shall they know when the shakeless shall be round their necks, and the chains they shall be dragged along in the boiling stinging fluid. Then in the fire shall they be burned. So basically, this is the next bit is that people what they're gonna wear in Jahannam. Garments, their garments of Kataran, and their faces covered with fire. Basically, the face is going to be covered with fire, and the garments of Kataran will be like pit. They're basically garments of pitch. Like literally, it's going to be like pitch black or something. I don't know. And yeah. And then the next bit says, according to Ibn Abbas radiallahu an, Kataran means melted brass. The people of Jahannam will be made to wear this clothing, which is extremely hot. Basically, you're going to be wearing like garments which is so hot, which will fully burn your body. The next bit says, the jealous of Jahannam will cry so much that ships would be able to sail in their tears, and the tears will be of blood. Basically, after this happens, your tears are going to come out. So much tear is going to come out that ships are able to like sail there. Like, for example, you see the water in the background. Imagine imagine that all of that stuff here was your tears. It was the person's tears, and it was blood, and you saw a ship sailing. Literally, that would be so much tears that comes out. That was probably like the first person who that was crying a lot. The next bit says, verily the tongue of the unbeliever will be pulled out up to 1 or 2 farsakh, which is also called 3 miles. And the people will walk over it. The distance between 2 shoulders of an unbeliever will be so wide that it will take 3 days if a horse covers it rapidly. His jaw tooth will be equal to Mount Uhud, and the thickness of his skin will be equal to the passage of 3 days. Those who reject our signs, we shall soon hurl them into the fire. As often as their skins are roasted through, we shall replace these for fresh skins, that they may taste the chastisement, for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is exalted in power wise. Basically, if you don't do all of those stuff like wear the garments or eat the food or anything, you will have to be thrown in the fire and your skins will be roasted, and then they're going to replace it with new fresh skins. The last bit says, the least among the people of hell in punishment is one whose sandals or laces are from fire, from which his brain boils as a pot of water would boil when set on fire. He will not think that there is anyone being punished more than him, but in reality he is the least in punishment. Basically, the laces of your sandals are going to be from fire, made from like clean flat fire. Your brain is going to be like boiled just like a pot, like as if it's burning. That person's going to be like thinking, I'm the most person who's getting punished. But no, he's like the least person in punishment. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala could have done worse, The next bit is about actions that lead to Jahannam. For example, hypocrisy, acting as a Muslim outwardly but having disbelief inwardly. That's basically saying you're acting as a Muslim to like trick other people, like trying to find out some stuff or something, or steal money or something in the mosque, and then later you actually have disbelief and you don't care about anything about Muslims. That is basically another, like that's definitely what's going to lead you to Jahannam. And the next bit is saying, indeed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will gather the hypocrites and disbelievers in hell altogether. Abdullah ibn Amr radiallahu an reports that the beloved messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, if anyone has 4 characteristics, he is pure hypocrite, and if anyone has one of them, he has an aspect of hypocrisy until he gives up. When he is trusted, he betrays his trust. Whenever he speaks, he lies. When he makes an agreement, he breaks it. When he quarrels, he behaves in an insulting manner. Another thing that will take you to Jannah is lying. Our beloved messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has said, lying leads to deviance, and deviance leads to the fire. Deviance and deviance leads to the fire. Spreading tales, our beloved messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, a tale bearer shall not enter Jannah. Being two-faced, our beloved messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, you will find the worst person on the day of judgment to be the two-faced person. A two-faced person is like a hypocrite in front of some people, that he says something that he then goes to other people and says the total opposite. Being arrogant and proud, our beloved messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, he shall not enter Jannah in those in whose heart there is an atom's weight of pride. Picture makers who draw pictures of animate and living beings. Our beloved messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the picture makers will be given the severest punishment, the most punishment basically. One who breaks family ties. Our beloved messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the person who breaks family ties will not enter Jannah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us all from Jahannam. Ameen. Basically, guys, I know this video has been taking a long time, but inshallah this really helps. Like, this video took like 1 hour to make, and I've been working really hard on it. Inshallah this really helps. Like, it has to, but if it doesn't, then people, like, literally, if you don't understand, you're going to be going in the road, going on like the streets knowing nothing what's happening in the world. So inshallah you follow the ideas of what's happening there. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
ربنا يا ربنا ربنا يا ربنا ربنا يا ربنا
Baitul Aman Tube. Revive the Islamic culture.
ربنا يا ربنا ربنا يا ربنا